Hi, everyone. Just wanted to give a quick update on what we talked about during our webinar this lovely Tuesday afternoon. I gave a brief update regarding the New York HERO Act. If you recall, private employers are covered by the New York HERO Act, which was passed back in May of 2021, and it required two things. One, the first aspect of the New York HERO Act involved the adoption of these airborne infectious disease exposure prevention plans. The second piece dealt with workplace safety committees. For purposes of our discussion today, we talked about updated proposed final regulations and emergency rule making with respect to the first aspect of the HERO Act, involving those workplace airborne infectious disease exposure prevention plans. In short summary, we saw four big updates or notable updates in the regulations. One is that the Department of Labor removed the reference to COVID-19 to make the prevention plans and rules more applicable to other diseases in the future. The second is an update regarding the verbal review. As you may recall, the regulations required some verbal review to be provided to employees. There was a comment during the comment period that asked whether or not their verbal review must be done when there's only a designation in effect, or even if there's no designation in effect. Based on the updated language in the regulations, as well as the framing of the comment, employers must provide a verbal review of the plan, their policies, and employee rights under the New York HERO Act with newly hired employees upon hiring and all other employees as soon as practicable upon the activation of the exposure prevention plan. So in other words, we believe at this time that this just means that training or the verbal review must be provided when there's a designation in effect. That may be subject to change if the Department of Labor issues any updated guidance interpreting that rulemaking further. With respect to exposure control methods, the plans were updated, or the regulations were updated to become less specific with respect to the issues of health screenings, face coverings, physical distancing, cleaning and disinfection, and PPE. So the language there was updated just to cross-reference and essentially incorporate by reference requirements in compliance with state or federal laws or regulations relating to the airborne infectious disease at issue, including any of those that are adopted under the New York HERO Act itself, as well as governor's executive orders or Department of Health regulations, guidance issued by the State Department of Health or the CDC. Lastly, there was an update with respect to the PPE provisions of the regulations, which clarifies that employers must determine and implement appropriate plans for ensuring that employees are provided with and properly utilize PPE in accordance with any state or federal law or regulations relating to whatever that disease may be at issue, including any executive orders issued by the governor or Department of Health regulations, as well as applicable CDC guidance. As a reminder, just because we currently are not in a designation does not mean that private employers can forget about the New York HERO Act. You still have to have an airborne infectious disease exposure prevention plan adopted, and you must have a written policy posted in your work sites or in each work site, provide a written copy to new hires upon hire, and update the plan as may be necessary.